Might dig it out for tomorrow's ride. There we are.
Yeah, if you can remember way back, if you're, in your 50s, John Digweed and Sasha, they've done. I often listen to it. Sometimes when I'm cooking as well.
When
it
you're
keeps
cooking?
the rest of it keeps the rest of the family out the kitchen.
We're wired in. Who's this, Bri? There you go. That's a hard throw.
It is. It looks like Bardiani, the green machine, are out in front here, but
I don't think so. I've got a feeling it's one of them from Sindicato, but we shall wait and see as we get just a little bit closer. As it we shall wait and see. I can't even tell you where we are, but what I can tell you,
Argentina.
Obviously we're heading towards our final finish today of Jashal. One man standing by the looks of things. You rejoin us as we pick up very, very late on here. Well, we assume late on because we don't know how far we are away from the finish line at the moment. We think we're inside the last 10 kilometres. So all I can tell you is that once we see the Flamme Rouge, there is 1,000 metres to go. Let's hope we get there soonish. With 1,100 metres, there is a left-hand turn. With 800 metres, there's a right-hand turn. And then it is a full-blooded dash for the line. However, before we get there, we have a sole rider up the road just for the time being. And one can only assume that he is out front and not trying to get back in. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, the helicopter is following him. He must be at the front of the race. I was just trying to see, even on their official Twitter account, see if I can get some information here. But definitely one rider in front. We'll have to wait and see and rely on these pictures to see what else we can know is going to happen. But it looks as if the breakaway have already been swept up, and I'm sure that's a Green Project Bardiani rider. Just panning out now. Hopefully we'll be able to see the bunch. Yep, there they are. So the breakaway have been swept up, and it looks like one of the Green Project riders is darted for the finish.
I don't think it is, but I think it's one of the Sindicato de Empleados Publios of San Juan, and doing a great job for the Publios of San Juan, to be honest, but we shall wait and see. In the meantime, look at how tightly bunched they are. We don't know the distance from home, so we can't tell you how indeed much time we have left. Well, hopefully if we spin round here we might get some kind of geographical view away from the harvester, and indeed further down this road. Struggling to help you today, I'm afraid, but yeah, we're cycling, for goodness sake. Life has to be good. Virtually no wind by the looks of the trees in this part of the world, which is good news. Yes, we know we have one rider up the road. It would be quite nice to see everybody else, quite frankly, on this approach. Anybody's guess, Brian, but I think we're in the last 5.
Potentially. We can just
or 10
pan out a little bit. We know that the finish in town is not that far away. We've seen plenty of footage of it from our drone earlier on in the day, but yeah, hard effort for this rider to hang out there, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see our second sprint of San Juan.
I think you're right. I'm still waiting to see from which team this is. You may well be right with the Green Project, but I still think they had some plum colours upon their shoulder. There we are. It is
Tarozzi.
You're right. Gosh, I hate saying that. And there are the plum colours on the sleeve caps. Didn't see those from distance, but there we are. It is Tarozzi, Manny Tarozzi, who's going for it. Ah, at last. Minute and 59? Surely not. Looked about 14 seconds, 10, that kind of margin. Minute 59 overall is his deficit. Apologies. So he's sitting in 101st place at the moment. He's in P1 for today. So work it out. Where is your twists and turns? Now, if this is where I believe it is on the map, we're about 4.5 Ks out. And certainly by the look of the pace and the colour order that we're starting to engage with here, Brian, it looks like that may well be the case. Then they're going to automatically chase him down. There's no real reach out to try and grab him. But Tarozzi is going to get absorbed here, and just look at Viviani's men. Ineos Grenadiers are just coming up on the left-hand side, and it looks like Philip Borgana is riding third wheel, so he's going to be the lead-out man. For Viviani in a few moments' time, Nevaeh's doing a fantastic job, so almost by default being caught here. Interesting as well to see that Total Energies with Peter Sagan on hand. He's wheel 4 in that line of white riders with red tinged helmets, as you can see, riding the centre line just for the time being. He's P4 wearing the Slovak champions jersey, all lined up and ready to go. And you can also see 2 from Soudal Quickstep with a world champion just tucked in behind. The European champion, of course, is also on display here. That's Fabio Jakobsen. It's his game to play today, so he's got 4 teammates in front of him. He is just tucked in. In fact, he's got 5. He's got the full lead-out train. They're going for the full Monty here, Brian, on rails, presumably.
Which I think now they should be around the kind of 5 kilometres to go mark. I think if the world champion goes to the front, it will be around the 3 kilometre to go. So I think the fact that there's so many of the lead-out trains are full at the moment with 5, potentially 6 riders. There is that distance to go to the finish. I'm just judging on how long they've got to go to the finishing line is determined by how many riders there are in front of the sprinter. So I think there are still about 4 or 5 to go at this moment. But wait and see. But it looks as if Astana are looking after Gleb Syriza a little bit better today.
They are. Giacomo Nizzolo just being brought up here. I think Rick Zabel and Jens Reinders helping him out, but Israel Premier Tech are going to have another option today. Got another flyer, just decided to take it on the right-hand side of the road, just a little injection of pace. May well be Giovanni Lonardi going long. He's given to doing this on occasion. We'll catch up with him in a few moments' time, while we just dwell on the pack. The days of the long lead-out train, courtesy of HTC, really, and their magnificently long lead-out trains that everyone started to copy. Days past, really. Much shorter trains these days, as Brian was saying. Possibly 3 is your best bet within the last kilometre. And possibly just 1 lead-out man ahead of you to help with what can be a technical run-in, and we've got a little bit of that today. Shame that we don't have our distance marker for you, but from the profile of the lead-outs, we're assuming that we still have around about 3 kilometres to go for the time being. They haven't shortened down, possibly a little bit longer than that. That's a good showing, Brian.
Yeah, it looks like one of the Medellin riders has darted off the front there, and definitely giving it something. Is that Ocampo, the rider from Medellin, the team of Sevilla, who was in the original breakaway, but that big effort he's soon brought back into the fold. But still, Ineos in the red over on the left-hand side. There's still numbers in this lead-out which suggest they still are, 4. Maybe 5 kilometres from the finishing line. The closer you get, the less riders there are in front of the lead-out. And with Remco, the world champion, sitting in 3rd place at the moment, you still got, Jan Hurt up there. So Lampard as well. So there's still a bit to go. With the Anton full swing, even with the riders that are attacking off the front, you couldn't do that if they were in full swing. For the lead-out.
Total Energies still embedding themselves. Danios coming in and joining the fray. Looking a little bit further back, Ineos Grenadiers with Viviani we have seen. Attilio is also being brought up. Slightly more plum-coloured. Also, it can be confused with that Ineos Grenadiers, but he's also being brought up as well. He finished in 10th place yesterday. This is a long straight run, Brian. I've got a feeling we've still got about 4 kilometres to go.
Yeah, it's and then we start. It's just the numbers that are in front of the sprinter. The more numbers, the further out you are from the actual sprint. So this kind of holding pattern at the moment, with the attacks that are coming, suggests that they aren't at full speed. So there's still a little bit to go. But once we get closer, they start to peel off. They start to get faster. So that'll give you an indication of how close we are getting to the finishing line.
Well, you can hear the effects mics from the finish line with the police bikes going through, which means this will be done and dusted within about the next 2 minutes. That's what the whooping sound is that's coming over into your heads for the time being. Attilio Viviani is up towards the form. We've also got Chimbuster Quintero. That's Mauro Abel Richesi. More in sort of a pinky red up towards the front. Looking at Astana, they really fancy this one, and Gleb Zrista, if he can keep hold of the wheel of Evgeny Gidic late on for Astana, he's going to be in a handsome place. Ilo Cometa with Giovanni Lonardia also involved. Apologies for the wailing sirens that are going through your heads at the moment. That's from the finish line. Sounds like they've quietened them down, thank heaven for that. 4 hours and 18 minutes in the saddle. Thanks for the time, but we'd like the distance to go, please. That would be nice and handy. No markers at the side of the road either. And they really keep playing this very cagily, Brian. We've got, in the last 5 kilometres, we have a left-hander for about 2.5 kilometres, another left-hander, a third left-hander, and then a right-hander to bring us to the line. When we indeed get to that point is anybody's guess. If the next one is a long left-hander, then I'll kind of know where we are. But 4 hours and 19 minutes is the length of time that we've been in the saddle today. It's been a long one, hasn't it? 201 kilometres have been dispatched. It very much looks like we're at this well within the last 3 or 4 kilometres as we stand at the moment. And Ineos Grenadiers absolutely on rails for the time being. Eli Viviani played it safe yesterday. Big left-hand turn coming up for you right now. Looking for our finish line because there's a couple of shimmies to be taken. Let's see how long this one lasts. We may well be closer at hand than perhaps we first thought. They're going to the safe side of the road. Trouble is, if they do that, they open it up dead centre. No sign of Team DSM for the time being. Was expecting them to be in the fray today with Welsford, but he took a bit of a tumble. Remco Evenepoel just planted at the front. The world champion for Soudal Quick-Step. You can see in 4th position is Fabio Jakobsen. Just behind is Peter Sagan's team. Opens up the centre of the road, and here come DSM spearing up through the centre in their dark blue. They will be a factor today. Well, the Sam Welsford can use the adrenaline of that crash to serve him well is anybody's guess. Astana are tucked onto the back wheel of Total Energies as well. They are working for Rista. No sign of Giacomo Nizzolo, but I am certain he is bound to be in the mix as he was yesterday. They come over the levee here, the old dried riverbed. That's the long transition. There will be a left-hander coming up for you in just a few moments' time. Really starting to pace this one, Brian. Yeah, they're about, I would say, about 3 kilometres ago, because now Evenepoel is kind of starting to stretch things out a little bit now, with the Ineos now down to 2 riders in front of Viviani, so we're getting closer and closer. But you know, the team of Soudal Quick-Step have got the numbers at the front. They've got 3 riders in front of the European champion, and they're all queuing up trying to get on his wheel. Well, here's your right-hander, and I believe we're very close at hand, and the release about to come. Flags just hanging limp upon their staffs, and here comes the leader of the race, Sam Bennett. Borum very, very late to the party, just sort of driving it up the centre of the road right now. Peter Sagan making a response, and we are indeed in the last 300 metres. Heads up for you right now. Camera bike, unfortunately, screening us just for the time being. Sam Bennett's just drifting to the front. He's making a great move at the moment. Super work, shoulder to shoulder stuff going on. Evenepoel's just balked out of it at the moment. It's going to be between the pair of them, I believe. Good pickup by Nizzolo as well, who's looking very, very strong. And here comes Gaviria spearing up the centre. Gaviria on the throw, is it? Oh, it is Jakobsen that gets there in the end. The European champion just holding off Fernando Gaviria and Sam Bennett. Well, apologies once again that we were out of sorts as to how long we had to go there. But what a great win. Evenepoel delivers at the line, Brian.
Yeah, it was such a frenetic sprint in the end. Blanket finish, and just to throw the bike there for Jakobsen takes that. I'd like to see another repeat, maybe an overhead, see how close it was. It did look as if Bora Hansgrohe were setting up Sam Bennett pretty nicely there, but I think by the looks of things, very difficult to see around that motorbike that possibly Sam Bennett took it up a little bit too early there.
Well, Jakobsen, European champion, I beg your pardon. What a skirmish that was. Fabio Jakobsen, of course, European champion. We got the jersey right. And indeed, he got the dive for the line right as well. Fabio Jakobsen delivers. Super work by the world champion Evenepoel. Fabio Jakobsen versus Gaviria in the end, and Jakobsen made it stick. Sorry about the nerves at the end there. That was a real pulp that we had to unravel for you. I hope we got there in the end. Jakobsen delivering. Thank heaven for that. Your pick, Brian. You did it.
Yeah, it was there was no divide there in the run-in. It was pretty much a straight-in battle between the sprinters. We expected a little bit of that yesterday. We never got it, of course. But Jakobsen delivers. Gaviria and Sam Bennett still up there. But let's see when we get this replay. But I just think that there's another good lead out for Sam Bennett from Danny Van Poppel, but I just think that he get propped on the front a little bit too early, and Jakobsen came from 2 or 3 bike lengths behind to take that victory. So we're seeing it now, and Remco starts to open up, and Viviani at this stage has got 2 riders in front of him, but everybody was queuing up behind Jakobsen and trying to use the Soudal quick-step train. So just that was 1,100 metres to go, just coming around here, 800 metres to go, and still having 3 riders in front. Was just spot on today. So they got it right today, not yesterday. Sagan up there with Dan Uos. But just coming down the left-hand side there's only one rider, Danny Van Poppel, Koch, and then Van Poppel in the white jersey. You get Sam Bennett. But it's just not kind of ramped up enough. Other riders trying to come up the left and the right, but it's still Soudal, quick step on the front. And then we start to see it opening up ever so slightly now as Sam Bennett, he's in a great position as well, but so is Jakobsen. We get into the barrier section now as they start to open up. On the right-hand side there, you can see the European champion. He's in the barrier side, and one of his teammates gets squeezed out at this moment. But at this stage, look where Sam Bennett is. He's in second wheel. Danny Van Poppel in front of him. This is what happened yesterday. But Jakobsen is on his wheels, just sitting and waiting. And when Sam goes, and I think he goes with about 150 metres to go. He goes down the right-hand side, but Jakobsen opens up in the middle of the road. He comes with speed, and he delivers that victory. But I tell you what, Gaviria was fighting there in the middle of our picture. Nizzolo was also there, but he was sat down at this moment. Came close in the end, but Jakobsen wins that quite clearly by about a wheel. But yeah, some other riders up there in the mix, I have to say. But yeah, not as a messy and dangerous sprint as yesterday, but a good win there from the European champion there.
Jon Uijberg's story was exceptional then. Used to do it for Cairo Royale in situations such as that, and often started the season very well. Yeah, getting up, I think, for third place there, right at the very death. Gosh, well, I've fried that one in the end there, Brian, I'm afraid. But Jakobsen kept it sensible and delivered, as you predicted, were even Stevens.
Yeah, I thought Jakobsen would ride better. Gaviria as well. They went left yesterday, as you say. Aberysturi up there. I think he gets third place. You know, Sam Bennett being pushed out. I think Sam will keep the leader's jersey for the race. He'll be equal in time, but obviously a better in points with a. I think it looks as if fourth or fifth place there in the end. But Nizzolo was opening up here. But Sam just goes 150 metres to go. But Jakobsen, he just sat in the wheels a little bit longer. You know, Sam's kind of starting to tie up a little bit. So is Nizzolo. But both Jakobsen and Gaviria come quick, as well as Aberysturi. So might have been a slightly kind of headwind finish there. And hitting the front was maybe the wrong thing to do, because it seemed to be the riders that were coming from behind had a little bit more speed.
Good work by Fernando Gaviria. Fabio Jakobsen hitting the line first. Exceptional run by Jona Aberysturi. A lot of people writing him off after his time at Cairo Royale, seeing that he didn't quite make it, hasn't quite settled within Trek Segafredo, but certainly looked happy enough today and doing what he used to do for the men in green and white. So just waiting for our official confirmation of the result. Some of you will be taking your leave after this. Fabio Jakobsen with the first win for the Netherlands this season. Early doors. Stage 2 complete. Long day, Brian, but dealt with quickly, I think. Sad that we didn't see much of the day, unfortunately, due to picture issues, but at least we got to see the finish, eh?
Yeah, it was entertaining in the end. Kept us guessing. And here's your winner of today's stage.
How do you feel right now?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy, especially after yesterday. Yesterday's final was, I think, really dangerous, not safe. But I spoke to the organization yesterday evening, and they promised me today.
Well, Fabio Jakobsen just cut off in his prime there.
We're going to hear him now.
I'm happy, especially after yesterday. Yesterday's final was, I think, really dangerous, not safe. But I spoke to the organization yesterday evening, and they promised me today they would make a safe final 5K, and they succeeded. So yeah, like this, it's nice to be here and race, and I'm happy I could win.
How do you feel during the entire race? I mean, it was really hot. Really, the weather was it good for you? Was it a problem, or how do you feel?
Well, I'm from the Netherlands, where it's actually snowing right now, so I'm not that good in the heat, but I can cope with it and deal with it. It was very warm. I think we're drinking around 1.5 liters an hour, so that's 3 bottles. Yeah, you have to deal with it. We've got a strong team, a super lead out. Peter and Jan did a great job together controlling the race, and I think I've got one of the fastest lead outs maybe ever in my team, which is Remco, Yves and Morkov, so I'm really proud on those guys also.
Was it Remco like the key for this, maybe?
Yeah, for sure. Without them I can never win, so I really need my teammates. They dropped me off in the perfect sprint position, and it was just a close battle with Fernando. You know, he's won many races here in San Juan, so he's obviously the man to beat, and I'm happy that I could win.
It was a great race. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Local knowledge for Fernando Gaviria didn't pay dividends in the end, but came very, very close. Strong performance by him. We may well see more of him tomorrow as we take on stage 3, run of 171 kilometres. Today, the longest stage of this year's race, 201 and more kilometres to be dealt with, and in the end, it came down to a dash. The best came to the fore. Great to see them there. Fabio Jakobsen, in the end, had what it took on the throne. European champions performance. Great to see. And wonderful for me personally to see John Ambrose-Story going so strongly. Like that.
No, it was a good result there. You know, Sam will still keep his jersey, but more importantly, he wanted to try and win another stage, but you can't win them always, they say, and he was beaten by, you know, a couple of strong sprinters there, and obviously Ambrose-Story as well.
We want to see tight sprinting. This is what the race has been built around, and that's precisely what we've got. Jakobsen, Gaviria, Ambrose-Story, of course, shining very brightly. Sam Bennett, Giacomo Nizzolo got on the podium yesterday. Eli Viviani in the frame. Peter Sagan up in the top 10 as well. Nicholas Markor of DSM finishing behind him in the absence of Sam Welsford, who took a big hit today and unfortunately I think possibly hampered him. There is the man who will stay in the leader's jersey, however. Sam Bennett, maintaining that white and blue leader's jersey here in San Juan at the International in Argentina.
Fabio Jakobsen